Many have been overwhelmed and astonished at the speed and scope of left-wing debauchery that has taken hold in the United States. This direct attack on the American culture isn't without purpose. The nuclear family is the underpinning strength of Western civilization. The Democrats have declared war on it, as have American enemies like China, Russia, Iran, and the BRICS nations. But what are we to do about the Surrender Caucus Republicans who vote to use our money to fund this attack on, well, who we are as a people? Brazen degenerates and unapologetic cowards. That's our focus in today's preamble. Let's begin with a sign of hope. Here's 12-year-old Liam Morrison showing more courage than the leaders in the Republican Party, standing up to the ignorance and intolerance of leftists in GovEd.
On that Tuesday morning, I was taken out of gym class to sit down with two adults for what turned out to be a very uncomfortable talk. I was told that people were complaining about the words on my shirt, that my shirt was making some students feel unsafe. Yes, words on a shirt made people feel unsafe. They told me that I wasn't in trouble, but it sure felt like I was. I was told that I would need to remove my shirt before I could return to class. When I nicely told them that I didn't want to do that, they called my father. Thankfully, my dad supported my decisions and came to pick me up.
Wow. Words on his shirt were making other students feel unsafe. That turned out to be a lie. But what could the shirt have said? Did it say, "Arm up and shoot up your school," as some left-wing manifestos have said? Did it say, "I hate anyone who disagrees with me," the way most left-wingers operate? No. Here's the unsafe language that caused so-called adults to melt down.
What did my shirt say? 5 simple words. There are only 2 genders. Nothing harmful, nothing threatening, just a statement I believe to be a fact. I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Not one person, staff, or student told me that they were bothered by what I was wearing.
That's because the only people bothered were those pushing their feelings over facts. Liam had a shirt that stated a scientific fact that apparently only people like Chuck Todd at MSNBS don't know is a fact. GovEd is forcing this young man to accept fantasy and call it truth in service to making a dumb and morally bankrupt population. It's the Democrat way. This level of bullying, intimidation, and coercion is worthy of communist China or the former Soviet Union. And those government officials should be severely punished, those in America who did this. But they're not. The GOP makes sure they are rewarded with your money.
I was told that the shirt was a disruption to learning. No one got up and stormed out of class. No one burst into tears. I'm sure I would have noticed if they had. I experience disruptions to my learning every day. Kids acting out in class are a disruption, yet nothing is done. Why do the rules apply to one, yet not another? I feel like these adults were telling me that it wasn't okay for me to have an opposing view. Their arguments were weak, in my opinion. I didn't go to school that day to hurt feelings or cause trouble. I have learned a lot from this experience. I learned that a lot of other students share my view. I learned that adults don't always do the right thing or make the right decisions.
No, they don't. These adults are woke, and because they have been given unchallenged power by our political class, they can undertake this kind of attack on our most precious resource, our children. Here's another example of what leftists who dominate GovEd are doing to our kids.
My name is Allison Dempsey. This year I'm teaching 5th grade social studies in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Racist teaching and learning is upholding the systems and sort of like the classroom hierarchy. Inquiry-based learning challenges that model because the children guide the learning. So what are some racial differences that you've noticed around you? Who would like to share?
People are different, so they get treated based on how they look.
What is the dominant culture? What does the dominant culture do?
Dominant culture is for powerful people with power, and white people make other people think that black people are bad.
That's right. They teach racism in GovEd, critical race theory in GovEd. The lesson is simple. Whites are bad and naturally racist. It also teaches that people of color are victims and can only survive with the help of an all-powerful government and, of course, the subsequent loss of everybody's rights. This false and cancerous teaching about what America is has produced 2 generations that hate the United States and our Constitution. This has been the message from Democrats and their foot soldiers in Antifa and BLM who are pushing for a communist revolution.
We need a revolution in order to overthrow this system, bring a whole new communist world into being that can actually ensure the rights of black and brown people. And whether or not you agree, or if you still are caught up in this electoral politics bullshit, even if you are, even your hopes for a more progressive or liberal agenda are not going to happen while the second president of the Confederacy is in the White House. Let's work together to tear that statue down.
Revolution, nothing less.
Revolution, nothing less. And if you oppose their Marxism, they'll beat you up. They'll burn and loot your business and work to silence your voice of dissent, the same way they tried to silence 12-year-old Liam.
It's bizarre that we've come to this point where, like, free speech used to be a left or liberal value. And yet we see from, the in quotes left, a desire to actually censor. That seems crazy. I mean, I think we should be extremely concerned about anything that undermines the First Amendment. There's a reason for the First Amendment.
Yeah, there is a reason for the First Amendment. It allows Americans to speak up and reject the Democrats, reject the violence, reject their anti-American precepts and principles. Those 2 classic liberals you just saw, Elon Musk and Bill Maher, they identified the disease that now afflicts the Democrat Party, academia, the deep state, and far too many boardrooms in America.
I mean, you have talked about this woke mind virus.
Yes.
In really apocalyptic terms.
Yeah.
You should explain why you don't think it's hyperbole to say things like it's pushing civilization towards suicide. First of all, what is the woke mind virus? And if we don't deal with this, nothing else can get done. Tell me why you think that.
I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech.
Anti-American, anti-free speech defines Democrats. It defines totalitarians in permanent Washington. It defines news organizations that suppress news and push left-wing narrative. It defines news organizations that want to limit their audience's choices of viewpoints and the choice of which direction our government takes our nation. Police have arrested the illegal alien who shot and killed 5 people, most of whom were also in the U.S. illegally. But instead of decrying the ease at which this man, a multiple felon, gained access to our country, rather than focus on the fact that this illegal alien illegally got his hands on a gun, rather than focus on the violence and the murder that was 100% preventable, why 100%? Well, you see, an illegal alien can't commit a crime in America if the illegal alien isn't allowed to enter America illegally in the first place. Instead of focusing on the harm to our people, left-wing nut jobs are deflecting. Socialist zealots are saying the crime is Texas Governor Greg Abbott properly identifying the shooter and the victims as illegal aliens. From Joe Scarborough to USA Today to the left-wing editorial board of the Star Telegram, they are focused on silencing Governor Abbott from telling you the truth. It's all designed to keep illegal immigration going and harming our people. It's all designed to keep up the fiction that somehow illegal aliens have a right to be in America. By our laws, they do not. But 18 Senate Republicans fully funded Joe Biden's lawlessness across America and at the borders. Senators like John Cornyn, even knowing the damage Joe Biden's illegal immigration was doing to Latino communities in Texas. John Cornyn betrayed his state by voting for a bill that stated, none of the funds shall be used to hire permanent federal employees or to acquire, maintain, or extend border security technology and capabilities except for technology and capabilities to improve Border Patrol processing. But Cornyn and the Senate 18 are not the only Republicans funding Democrat depravity with your money. Republicans in the Texas State House, they joined socialists in the Democrat Party to stab every Texas parent in the back. Left-wing Republican by the name of Charlie Guerin and 4 other Republicans joined Democrats to put up a budget amendment. You know what it was? It prohibited any taxpayer money go to fund parental school choice programs to help our kids escape the depravity we just showed you. After that amendment, 23 so-called Republicans voted to stab every Texas parent in the back by trying to deny those parents the power to remove their children from the cancerous gov-ed indoctrination centers. Let's look at what these Republicans in the Texas House actually voted for. The status quo. These are just the headlines, folks, from the last month or so. Cy-Fair ISD employee charged with improper relationship with a student. The 66-year-old professional has 3 criminal charges against him and is being held on $200,000 bond. North Texas teacher wrestling coach arrested for improper relationship with student. Euless police believe more victims could exist. Louisville ISD teacher faces 99 years for sexually assaulting a 10-year-old. John Collette is a former Teacher of the Year at Camey Elementary. Of course he is. LGBTQ chat rooms promoted, I should say, to children in rural Texas schools. On a now deleted webpage, Charlotte ISD had counseling services that provided information for gender-affirming chat rooms and guides to gender spectrum. This is the deviancy of the Democrat Party, fully funded by the Republicans who support those perverts. Some are not part of the Charlie Guerin, John Cornyn, Mitch McConnell, Mitt Romney Surrender Caucus. Delaware County Councilman Ryan Webb announcing mid-April that he finally felt, quote, comfortable announcing my true, authentic self, end quote. See, he's now identifying as a black woman and is asking for all the woke protections that go with that declaration. By being absurd, he is displaying the absurdity of the left in this country. This absurdity doesn't need to be reasoned with, accommodated, placated, and certainly not funded like the Surrender Caucus GOP is doing. Americans should tell the Republican Party that we will not allow them to sacrifice us or our children just so they can play nice with evil. For what the Democrats have done, they have earned opposition, resistance, and defunding. It is up to you to seek out and identify the John Cornyns, Mitch McConnells, and Charlie Guerins in your states. Then it is up to you to vote these cowards out or demand they resign. Left-wingers are showing up, conducting insurrections all over the place at various state capitals. Latest one was in Texas just yesterday. Now, if the left wing can do that, what is stopping you from organizing voting blocks to make sure the Republicans who have sold you and your family out to these Marxists in the Democrat Party never have the power to harm you or that family ever again?